What's up YouTube, this is Sean. I am back again, and in this video we're going to be working on the chest plate, or should I say breastplate, and the arms for the Wasp from Antman and the Wasp. And we're going to start off with the abdominal section because why not? Because that's where I usually start. And I'm using this black material when I should be using navy, but black is the only color I have, so I'm going to pretend it's navy for now. I may just do a comic book color theme, which is actually gold and black. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to paint it the color of the movie. Now I want to start off by applying my contact cement to the material. I also applied contact cement to the 4mm EVA foam that I'm using for the abdominal, and then I'm going to put another layer of accent, which is this checker looking thingy-ish. And the reason why I'm using 4mm EVA foam is because I kind of want this as thin as possible. I want my wife to be able to move around, you know, back and forth. The thicker the foam, the harder the mobility. And now that I got all my additional accents on there, I'm going to take a heavy roller thingy. Doesn't need to be heavy, just as long as you can roll it on there and make sure everything's nice and flat. And here are the pieces for the breast section. When you have it laid out like this, it looks like the expression of an angry bird. And I'm going to start off by attaching the middle breast section to the lower breast section. And then I'm going to do the other side and pick the cleaner side and flip it. But yeah, I'm going to flip it inside or flip it down. That way I can glue the upper breast piece just like this. And I want to make sure that I use the surface of my table, so that way everything is nice and smooth. The upper breast piece is actually 4mm, and the breast piece itself is 6mm foam. I do this because I wanted it to stagger a little bit and makes it painting a little bit easier too. And now that I have both sides assembled, it's time to attach them down the center. I'm going to push it flat to the table and then carefully align it. And when you have it all put together, it should look something like this. So far, this breastplate is coming together really nicely. I'm going to apply some heat, and then I am going to roll it over this PVC cap, which is 3.5-inch PVC pipe cap. I think it's 3.5, I'm not sure. You can actually use a baseball for this. I used to have one until my dog got a hold of it, and yeah, that was it. I have 2 Rottweilers and they chew everything up. Now I'm applying some contact cement to the top of the abdominal piece and the breast area, and I'm going to carefully align it to the line, making sure everything is nice and centered. Now I did notice that I sewed the edges of the abdominal fabric piece in a little bit too much, and the breast piece actually hangs off just a little bit on the side there, but that's okay. I can always take a pair of scissors and trim it down to where they look nice. But yeah, so far it's so groovy. Now let's move along to the back section. Notice that the top part of the side piece is like 2 pieces right there. Now on the templates they're actually 1 piece, but I cut them in this little area right there just to save me on foam. Well, actually I didn't have enough foam, so yeah, that's what I do on some of my builds. Sometimes I don't have enough foam, but the pattern is a lot bigger, so I would cut the pattern in a section and then cut the foam and then glue the foams together. Kind of works, you know what I'm saying? And now that I got the back piece all assembled, it's time to attach it to the front piece by the trapezoid area. Yeah. And then I cut me a little slot right here for the elastic with some velcro sewn onto it. I'm going to use some hot glue to hold it down, and this elastic is going to reach around the side and attach underneath to the velcro that I sewn underneath the abdominal fabric area. Then I took a wood burner and I burned in some lines right there in the top abdominal accent area, and then I took some 2mm EVA foam, or should I say craft foam, and I cut it right there for the top piece. And I'm going to use some quick seal so I can conceal some of this gap that I have in between the breast and the abdominal accent. Now this caulking is kind of old, but yeah, I just put some water on my finger and I was able to smoothen it out, and after a couple of coat of plastic dip, you don't really know it's there anymore. And this is what the front and the back look like. Now I'm gonna work on the shoulder piece, which is pretty quick and simple. I mean, you just glue two pieces together and you're done. Not really. I'm gonna apply some heat to it, and then I'm going to get some curvatures into this. I'm gonna use that PVC cap thingy that I have sitting right there, and I'm gonna round off the top of the shoulders just nice and round, and then I'm gonna apply some more heat so I can roll the sides in just like that. Now I'm going to use some elastic, and I'm gonna hot glue the sides together, that way it can wrap around the arm. And then I'm gonna take my wood burner and then burn in these lines. Now here are the pieces for the bracelet. I'm taking my razor blade and I'm gonna score in some lines since my wood burner has been unplugged and it's cold, and it's just easier for me to take a razor blade and score the surface and apply some heat. It'll open up just as good. And I'm gonna take some sandpaper and I'm gonna score down the surface of the texture side so that way the contact cement will absorb. And then I'm gonna glue that piece and this lower piece of the bracelet together just like that. And once my contact cement come to a dry, I'm gonna just put it right on there just like that. Now some people watch me and they say, hey Sean, what kind of contact cement are you using? I use barge contact cement, and you have to wait for it to dry. You can't just stick it on there while it's wet, because it doesn't work like that. I just edit the drying process out because nobody wants to sit here and watch contact cement dry, right? Now I've already cut out the slots for the elastic, which I'm going to insert through the slot, and then I'm going to apply some hot glue, and that's going to keep it down. And when you're using hot glue, you don't want to touch it with your bare hands because it's hot, obviously. Then I'm gonna roll it around and then insert it on the other slot and then apply some hot glue, and it should look something like this once it's done. And this piece right here is for the back of the hand, which I just glued some elastic to it, and it should wrap around the hand just like that. Now I'm not gonna try to put the wristband over my arms because my arms are a little too chunky, and I made this for my wife. Then I thought I'd glue the two pieces together, that way, it's less pieces. When you just glue a bunch of pieces together, it becomes one. And here is my wife, she's testing it out and it fits her perfect. Her arms are a whole lot skinnier than mine. I have really chunky arms. Here are the end pieces for the belt. I've already cut it to shape, and then I apply some contact cement, which I'm going to attach some velcro to it. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to glue it onto this 1 1/4 inch wide elastic. I think it could be 1 1/2. I could be lying to you, I don't know. Then I'm gonna hot glue it to the back side of it just like that. I'm gonna do the same for the other side, and it should look something like this once it's done. You want to make sure it fits you good, you don't want it loose or anything. Now I'm gonna apply some heat so I can curve it just a little bit so it can wrap around the rib area a little bit better. And I'm gonna use this metal thing because it's like the closest thing to me. You can actually use like a can or a spray can or something like that. Now I'm gonna take some masking tape and mask off everything that I want to keep black, since it's black already. I'm not gonna go back and repaint it black. It just kind of makes sense, duh. Now in the movie it's actually navy and silver, but I'm gonna go with a black and silver color theme just to keep things simple, since I don't have navy on hand. Now that I got everything masked off, I'm going to hit it with a light coat of gunmetal. Now I did thin down this paint, acrylic paint, a little too much, and it was a little runny. So yeah, I do have to keep it sort of thin. Now remember, 3 thin coats dries a whole lot faster than 1 really thick coat, but not fast enough. I'm using the hair dryer to accelerate the drying process because impatient happen. It happens with me a lot. Now that everything is all dried, I'm going to unmask the masking area, and then I'm going to take some navy acrylic paint and then paint on some navy in these little lines right here. And you know, for the first coat I could have put in a little bit of white just to help prime things up just a little bit and make things a little more brighter, but I just went ahead and painted on there because impatient happens again. But it seemed like 3 coats of this navy was just enough, and it turned out beautifully. Now I did go back and sew some velcro onto the abdominal area section right here where the belt straps onto it, and it should just connect on just like that, and it's looking pretty legit. So far so groovy, and I hope you're digging what I'm cooking because I'm so digging it right now. She is starting to come out really nice. Now in the next video I want to cover this little jetpack here and how I made the wings. It's not screen accurate, but it's con friendly. It does not retract because I'm not Pim Tech, but it is, you know, just cosplay, bro. Just saying. Now, if you liked this video and you felt like you got something out of it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome, cool contents if you haven't already subscribed. Check the link in the description down below that will take you to the templates and my other cool stores and stuff that will help support this channel. And yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.